Hey, good morning, Chuck Harris Apple Drains. I just looked at the weather forecast for the Midwest, and you guys are going to get some significant snowfall here in a few days. It's really a good time, if you haven't done it, to maintenance those gutters, to clean those gutters. So here is a few tips of how to clean those gutters. Really, it's not that hard to do. What's hard is if you have a two-story house and it's non-walkable roof. In other words, you have to move that ladder around. On this home, we're using a 32-foot ladder, and we're pretty much extending it the entire distance of that ladder. Safety is very important here, and I always send two guys. One guy is going to go up and he'll use the blower, and the other guy is going to hold that ladder while he's up there. If you're going to do this yourself, think about safety. It is important. And yeah, that fear of heights, it's going to come into play. You're going to get up on that ladder and you're going to blow these gutters out. It's a long ways up to the top. It is a long ways up to the top. This home we have on a maintenance. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I've been up on this roof so many times and cleaned these gutters, once a year, especially here in the fall. And it's something that you really have to stay on top of. These gutters are so important. They are a major part of the rainwater drainage system. When your gutters overflow, all of that water drops directly down along your foundation. And you can see Eddie's blowing out those gutters. You see all the debris up there. And you don't even see any trees around the area. This is why you need to clean these gutters. Leaves blow. They blow everywhere. So a lot of people talk and they ask, well, what about leaf guards? Leaf guards work really good. But if you don't have them, you need to go up there and clean the gutters. Or you can pay somebody to clean the gutters. Think about what it costs to actually do this yourself. You probably have a blower, so we'll keep that cost out. But if you don't have that large ladder, go price one. A 32-foot ladder is well over $400. But if you decide to do this yourself, just make sure that you remember safety. Safety is the #1 key. So if you've got a helper to help hold that ladder down below, that is always advisable. Cleaning gutters is very important. The maintenance of your rainwater drainage system, this is part of it. It will protect that foundation. It protects that soffit. It will help prevent freezing and the ice dams that occur, especially up in the Midwest and, in the colder climates. But remember, it takes several ladders to do this. And it might be better to actually pay someone to come out there on a regular basis and clean your gutters. But next, let's take a look at adding the inexpensive snap-on screens and how well do they actually work. People talk about leaf guards, and I'll tell you what, leaf guards can save you a ton of money, and they're well worth the investment. If you have this style of a house where you have to climb that high to clean the gutters, I would strongly suggest that you put in some leaf guards. So if you're able to clean those gutters, you can definitely do this. These are snap-on gutter guards, very easy and inexpensive to install. So once you've cleaned your gutters, you used your blower, you cleaned this all out, and you go to the hardware store and you pick up these snap-on screens. You slide it under the first course of shingle, and then you're just going to snap it right onto the lip of that gutter. And it really is that simple. Install those screens, those gutter guards, and it will make so much of a difference as far as the ice dams and overflowing gutters. These things really work, and they work great. There are so many types of these on the market. Let's take a look at cutting in the corner.
So put it in, you make the measurement, the length of it, and it cuts with scissors. Not the easiest cut, but it does cut. Piece, and it might not fit right here because this is screwed down with flashing, but it should. Try to pick it up, slide it, this one's going to have to get a little trim right here. Make the measurement. Cut it. Just need to take off about 1 inch. Now it should maybe fit. Not quite. There we go. And then you snap them in place. Then we'll come back and put some screws in here.
Clogged gutters usually mean clogged downspouts, which will lead to the underground drain being backed up as well. If you're going to do this, remember these are 2-story houses and you can see that you've got to get up on that ladder and you use your blower. Look at all the water that's laying in this gutter. What happens is that freezes and the weight of that ice and water slowly pulls that gutter loose from the fascia, and then you've got even more problems. Very important to clean your gutters on a regular basis. Today we are cleaning some gutters and making some repairs on the Charlotte's Men Club. These gutters haven't been cleaned for a long time, and this is a galvanized custom-made gutter. It's 8 inches wide and it has totally rusted through. The guys are up cleaning, but you know, sometimes the blower just won't do it and you just have to do it by hand. And you can see Chris with his gloves on just reaching in and pulling out the debris. And yeah, we'll come back and blow that out to make sure it's clear, and then we'll make some repairs on that as well. Gutter maintenance and cleaning. Your roof gathers so much water, and all of that debris, if it gets stuck down in that gutter is going to overflow and just pour down along your foundation. So in other words, all the downspout work that you've done underground, all the French drain stuff that you're trying to do is not going to work at all unless you clean those gutters. That's the beginning of your system. Okay, one final tip in this video. Take a look.
Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. You know, sometimes we get a call to come out and seal a gutter. It's not really what we do. We're more of the underground things, but we've done a lot of work here at this home, so let's take a look here and see if we can't seal this gutter. You can see there were some screens here, and if you look closely, you see all this water right there. And what it's doing is it's dripping down, and of course when it's cold and frozen, that just turns to ice, and this is one of their entryways. So what we need to do is to clean this out, dry it up, and then reseal the seam here. There's a seam back here, there's a seam here, and there's another seam here. So let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is use my blower and really blow this area out. Okay, so we've got the area pretty dry. Now I'm just going to take a little rag and really try to get as much of this dirt out of here as, the blower didn't pick up. But I think I've got it all. Wipe it clean. And now we're ready to apply some sealer. Okay, this is really interesting. You've probably seen these commercials for Flex Shot, where the guy seals the boat with a screen door. This is just silicone, and it's an outdoor waterproof silicone, and it works great, but it costs $12 a bottle. This is a weatherproof rain resistant, freeze resistant, waterproof silicone. It costs $3 and it works just the same. So let's go ahead and put some in there. When caulking, always remember to get up here in the top, a good amount of caulk right down along that seam. Spread it out. And as this dries, it'll flow just a little bit. Gutter sealer works really good too. And the reason I'm using a silicone sealer is because it's been so cold that I really need this to set up quickly. This will set up a little quicker than the gutter sealer, which is a silicone base, but it also flows a little bit more down into the seam. But this is going to have plenty of caulk on it, and we'll spread it. Remember to do all the seams. So when you're all done, go ahead and secure your screens back to where they were. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.